So this just happened. Freaking camera guy was picking his nose, eating peanuts. First time today that we weren't filming. And I popped a 24-inch golden fatty in an embarrassing way. Whoa. She's mad that I don't even want to talk about, but it's the reality of walleye fishing right now. So I mentioned in the last video, don't force a bite. Don't force a jig and wrap bite, a rip and wrap bite, whatever. We go out so often thinking in our head how we're gonna catch them, how we wanna catch them. Dog days of walleye fishing, man, it's brutal. When you're not on a walleye factory like a Mille Lacs, a Leech, a Lake of the Woods, whatever, any of the factories, the reality of these like local stock lakes, natural clear water zebra mussels is, if you catch one 17-inch walleye, that's a great day. You catch 2 fish, you blew it away. You catch 3 fish, you're gonna win your local walleye league. It's the reality of walleye fishing. And all you see online, you read the Target Walleye newsletter, it's like everybody's catching these giant 33-inch walleyes on cool techniques, and it's not the reality. You don't see the 10 or 12 trips where they goose egged and then caught that one fish, you know, trip 14. Oh, we're really popping the giants now. Al Linder would be so disappointed in me. Just another 24-inch walleye. So I thought we'd just take a chance to break down a couple of, I don't know, kind of dummy-proof methods when you just want to catch one walleye. If you're grabbing fish and they're not eating, just day savers, right? And what I caught that fish on is the perfect example. Let's hop up front, and I'm kind of embarrassed, but I'll show you what I finally stooped down to get a bite. All right, so like I mentioned, we were throwing jigging wraps, throwing paddle tails, throwing hair jigs, throwing everything. I finally had a little 1/8 ounce VMC Ned jig, took off my plastic and put on a half of a night crawler. It looks like we're fishing for bluegills, and I threw it into this pot of fish that we saw in live scope. There was just a wad of probably 8, 12 fish, you know, 50 feet away from the boat. We're backed off of them because it's clear water. Threw this thing down in the middle of them and just sat there. And I just barely moved it. Wasn't hardly doing anything, and then all of a sudden, like, I just go to drag it, never even felt a bite. It just kind of mushed up like it was one of the rocks. Boom, 24-inch golden walleye. So, I mean, don't make it as difficult as it needs to be, right? Everybody wants to catch them in a cool, exciting new way, something really like you can brag to your friends about how you got 37 fish on a jig and wrap and just as hard as you can snap it. Reality is, dog days of walleye fishing, catching a fish is a victory. If you got to stoop down to a 1/8 ounce or 1/4 ounce jig and a half a crawler, do it. Slip bobber and a leech, do it. Don't get stuck on, everybody's so much cooler online, right? They never show you the tough days, the crappy days, today we were out here for 6 hours, never caught a fish. We're trying to force these flashy techniques, and it's like, dude, we got to call that audible and just get a fish in the boat, even if it's not the most glamorous thing in the world. So we'll hop on here and see if we can get another one to bite. Maybe it was a fluke, bunch of them there, but I guess we'll find out. Whoa, right under the boat, proved it. Finally got another one of these buggers to bite. I can't tell size, I thought it was little, but thanks, cameraman Nick. We switched spots to another giant pot of ridiculously inactive fish that wouldn't eat anything. Same little 1/8 ounce Ned jig, half crawler. That's a perfect under, probably just under 20 for a derby. We're actually pre-fishing for a local walleye league that's out here tomorrow night, and they're just fussy. I've never graphed so many walleyes in my life, and I was chatting with Nick a little bit about it. A month from now, it's gonna be a completely different thing. Like end of September, all of October, walleye fishing is great again. You graph fish, you catch fish, but we still got 70-degree water temps, 80 degrees during the day, and they're just fussy and brutal. And it's just, that's the reality of walleye fishing. You catch 2 or 3 fish, it's an epic day. But a month from now, you can get more aggressive, bigger, gaudier baits. And if you graph 5 or 6 fish, you're gonna get one to bite. But right now, slow, grind, be appreciative of that one bite. This isn't bass fishing. a bad day, we're not gonna catch 27 fish. And you know, maybe one day I'll live in Canada and that will be a thing. We'll be disappointed when we don't catch 28 inchers or master anglers every single trip out as the goal. But right now, I'd be happy going home with those two. It was a bite. It took half of me crawler. This is crazy. I thought that this was gonna be a terrible jig head for a half of a crawler. That hook collar pins a crawler to the top so well that it does not pull down. I cannot believe it. I never would have been like, oh yeah, get yourself some VMC Ned jigs for crawlers, but it's legit. It pins it up, and I actually really like the idea of having that tiny little 1/0 finesse thin wire hook on there when the bite is just disgustingly slow, because I'm not feeling a whack and cracking them. It's just, it mushes up, and I'm not sure if it's a rock or not. I'm just kind of reeling into them, and that super thin wire hook right in the corner of the mouth gets them every time, except for that time. He thinks he's a bass too. All right, we're on to something. We are on to something. I really don't want to be the guy at Walleye League tomorrow night throwing a half of a crawler, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Although I'm really good at winning free fishing, so I'll probably draw a blank tomorrow. Every time. But we finally found something that they will eat. Keep going back to the fun baits, not getting bit. Pick up the old half a crawler. Wham bam, thank you, man. And I'm just fishing it as slow and boring as you can. Basically dragging it, barely hopping it, and 8-pound Sufix 832 braid, about an 8-foot, 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. I got a 7.3 medium light rod, just a soft mushy tip, which is what I like for the Ned style jig heads with the thin wire hook, where you're not feeling that thump and cracking into them. You're just kind of mushing up and reeling into them until they're pinned. And I don't know, a simple, effective way to catch a few walleyes when it's the doggy days of summer. So I know this wasn't the most exhilarating video. Like I said, any walleye this time of year is a trophy, but if you liked what you saw, drop a comment below. Let me know what you want to see next. As always, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Kind of lame. That was kind of a lame outro. All outros are lame. It doesn't matter, the coolest outro is lame. Just gonna be at peace with it, okay? Let's do it again.